The Battle of Hastings in the year 1066 stands as one of the most significant and impactful events in the history of Europe, forever altering England's language, culture, economy, and society. It's almost difficult to speculate as to how different Britain would have been had Harold won the day rather than the actual historical victor, William, the Duke of Normandy. The syncretic blending of native English culture with that of the invading Normans essentially created the Britain that we know today. We know that the Britain that existed before the Norman invasion was radically different from the one that existed afterward. But what would it have been like to watch that evolution occur in real time? What follows is an historically grounded depiction of that change as it would have been experienced by citizens of London over the course of the first 50 years after the Norman Conquest. Let us begin. The autumn air in London is cool and damp. The Thames carries mist inland, settling over the timber-framed houses. In the markets, traders call over the noise of carts, livestock, and the chatter of customers. The city functions as it has for generations. By midday, the rhythm shifts. Bells sound in an urgent, uneven pattern. Messengers bring word from the south. King Harold is dead, killed in battle near Hastings. William, Duke of Normandy, is the victor and claims the English throne. The news moves quickly through the city, causing confusion and unease. The victory means a foreign ruler will take control of the realm. Few in London have even seen Normans in person, but reports describe them as disciplined warriors, speaking a different language and practicing unfamiliar customs. Concerns spread regarding law, land rights, and taxation. The uncertainty extends into trade. Artisans and merchants do not know whether their skills will be valued by the new regime or displaced by Norman imports. That evening, the city remains unsettled. Taverns are crowded but quiet. Citizens are aware that William's army will eventually make its way to London. The prevailing feeling is one of anticipation mixed with apprehension. Change is inevitable, but its nature and scale remain unknown. By the first anniversary of William's victory, Norman authority is visible in London. The city has yielded without a siege, but Norman soldiers are present in the streets. Their distinctive armor, weapons, and manner of speech mark them as outsiders, but their role in maintaining order is clear. Construction begins on a massive stone fortress beside the Thames. Homes and workshops are cleared for its foundations. This will later be known as the Tower of London, an enduring symbol of royal control. Trade continues, though its patterns are shifting. Norman nobles, clerks, and their households create new demand for luxury items. Artisans learn to adapt their products to continental tastes. New fabrics, dyes, and decorative styles enter the market. Some traders benefit from this influx, while others struggle to adjust. The legal system is also changing. Official documents are issued in Latin, and Norman officials preside over disputes. Fines and taxes increase. The language barrier between rulers and subjects complicates interactions. The streets of London now carry both French and English voices. Resistance to Norman rule exists but is muted. For many residents, the most immediate reality is that life continues under new authority, and the city's economy is slowly realigning to serve the needs of its rulers. A decade after the conquest, London shows extensive Norman influence. The Tower of London stands completed, dominating the riverside. It serves as a fortress, administrative center, and royal residence. Stone churches in the Romanesque style replace or supplement earlier wooden structures. Their rounded arches, large naves, and carved decorations mark a clear departure from pre-conquest architecture. Latin becomes the language of official and religious life, with French dominant in the royal court. Artisans supply goods to both Norman and English customers. Norman fashions, long tunics, trailing sleeves, and intricate embroidery become standard among the wealthy. Imported goods, including wine, spices, and silks, are more common in the markets. The social order has shifted. Lands once held freely by English families are now controlled by Norman lords, granted by the king in return for military service. Feudal obligations are more rigidly enforced. Some Englishmen rise by serving the new elite, but many are reduced to tenant status. Cultural boundaries begin to soften. Children born since the conquest have grown up in a mixed environment. French words enter English speech, and customs blend. London's economy benefits from expanded trade with the continent, though inequality deepens. The city is no longer Saxon in character, but a hybrid that reflects both peoples. Half a century after the conquest, London is a larger, wealthier, and more connected city than it was in 1066. The Norman dynasty has ruled for decades. The Tower of London remains a central fixture, symbolizing royal power. French influence is fully embedded in governance, law, and culture. The nobility is almost entirely of Norman descent, though many have intermarried with English families. The language of the court is French. Official documents are in Latin. English has absorbed a significant number of French words, creating a blended vocabulary. The city's architecture is transformed. Romanesque churches, stone guild halls, and improved bridges replace many older structures. Trade routes link London to France, Flanders, and the Mediterranean, bringing goods and ideas from far beyond the Channel. In the markets, there is no clear distinction between Norman and English traders. Generations born since the conquest consider themselves part of a single kingdom. Social divisions exist, but they are based on wealth and status, rather than solely on ancestry. The cultural memory of a purely Saxon England survives only in song, oral tradition, and seasonal customs. For the majority of Londoners, the conquest is a distant historical event. What began in 1066 as foreign occupation has, over decades, become the accepted foundation of the realm's political and cultural identity. This video is now in your past. We hope to see you here again in the future. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, thank you for watching.